to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in this episode of The Hypnotist, you're going to be listening to a hypnosis session that I was doing with a client that was coping with stress. And stress means different things to different people, but one of the widely accepted definitions of stress is essentially when you've got demands versus resources. So if you think about demands that might be workload, it might be problems, it might be bills to pay, it might be new responsibilities. And if you imagine that on one side of a balance, you've got all of the different demands, and then on the other side, you've got the resources. Now, resources can be real things like money and time. It can be energy levels, but it can also be internal resources. And internal resources might be resilience or optimism or determination. And essentially, if you've got more demands than resources, the difference between the two is going to be how stressed you feel. And one of the key things that you can do to immediately alleviate stress is to close all of those demands that are psychological demands that aren't essential in the moment. And quite often people are dealing with whatever their current workload is, whatever their current problems are, plus lots of other things that don't need to be thought about in that moment. And that can overwhelm so that the demands are higher than the resources. So one of the life hacks in a way is to reduce the amount of demands. But the other strategy is to reconnect with the times in your life that you've been at your most resourceful. So if we do both, if we reduce demands and increase resources so that resources exceed demands, then instead of being stressed, which is the deficit on one side, you then feel comfortable and in control. And just that tiny difference of feeling that you can handle whatever's on your plate suddenly creates a self-fulfilling prophecy, because then you feel that you can handle it. And because you can handle it, you then handle it, and you handle it well. So this hypnosis session is going to be based on that concept of demands versus resources, and using two particular approaches to actually reduce demands and increase resourcefulness. So find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in a feeling of calm and relaxation. And as you exhale, just allow feelings of tension and stress and worries to leave your body in your outward breath. So much so that with each and every breath, you're able to feel deeper and deeper relaxed. That's right. As you continue to breathe in and breathe out, notice that on your outward breath, you're breathing slightly deeper than you normally would. And when you get to the end of that breath, just leave that outward breath fully exhaled before you then take a slightly deeper breath in. And even if you increase the amount of oxygen by just a tiny % each time, the additional oxygen enables your body to release feelings of tension on your outward breath. enabling you to relax those muscles in your neck, around your eyebrows. Feel that feeling of relaxation going all the way down your head, down your neck, enabling you to go deeper and deeper, relaxed. Now, eyelids feeling heavier and heavier and heavier, almost like there's weights on your eyelids, keeping them down. So even if you try to open them, they would just be tightly shut. Not because they have to be, but because they feel so much better closed than open. And you're able, as your body relaxes, to notice that your imagination becomes even more vivid. And I wonder what it would be like if you remember a time when you saw a waterfall. Maybe you saw a waterfall next to a rock face, surrounded by plants, trees, cascading into a lagoon. And sometimes there's just the feeling when you see moving water, it just enables you to connect with nature. And nature allows the body to breathe no faster and no slower than it's meant to be, but just exactly as it should be. So as you look at that waterfall and you breathe in and you breathe out, notice that you're able to feel deeper and deeper, relaxed. Now, and I wonder what it might be like as you look at that waterfall and you look at that lagoon. If you imagined the water to be warm, imagine you're wearing whatever clothing is suitable to start to bathe in that lagoon of water under that waterfall. And imagine the water has the magical ability to take all of your tension, all of your worries, all of your strains away. That's it. Enabling you to go deeper and even deeper. Relaxed now. That's right. Allow the muscles in your forehead to relax now. The muscles in your jaw to relax now. Allow the muscles in your neck to just feel like any tension is melting away now. Relaxation spreading down your arms, all the way down your arms to the very tips of your fingers, taking you deeper and deeper, relaxed. That's it. As you breathe in and breathe out, even your chest, your lungs relax, your windpipe relaxes, your whole body relaxes. That's right. And I want you to imagine there is the most comfortable, inflatable bed there on that lagoon. Imagine climbing onto that bed and just feeling your body float on the surface of that lagoon, still hearing the cascading water of the waterfall, but you're now relaxed on the surface of this lagoon, enabling you to go deeper and deeper, relaxed. So relaxed, in fact, that as I count down from 5 to 1, you will imagine falling asleep there on that inflatable bed, there on that lagoon, nearby to a waterfall. 5, feeling limp and loose. 4, your eyelids getting heavier and heavier. And 3, feeling a desire to yawn. 2, imagine what it would be like to just drift off into a deep sleep. And 1, just imagine floating away inside your imagination into a deep, deep sleep now. That's right. And as you do so, allow your imagination to create a control room within your mind. Imagine that your mind is like a powerful computer. Imagine it being similar to the powerful processing chips in a computer or the latest smartphone. But I want you to imagine that in the same way that if you had the most powerful smartphone in the world, that smartphone is only effective. It's only effective if it's focused on one particular application. And sometimes, maybe when you're using a computer or you're using a phone, it starts to work in a slow way because the processor is overwhelmed with all the different applications that it has to invest resources on at any one point in time. And I want you to imagine your mind being a powerful processing chip. And I want you to think about all the things that could be on your mind at any one point in time. Think of your responsibilities. Think of problems you have to solve. Think of bills you have to pay, obligations you have to meet, different things that you have to learn, different things you have to do, people you have to communicate with, and consider each of these things an open application in the smartphone of your mind. And at least once in your life, you've had the occasion where you've realized that your phone is feeling stressed and overwhelmed because you've got too many applications open. And maybe you did something to that device so you could just one by one close all of those open applications. And I want you to imagine that you're doing that inside your mind now. Because you can always open any new applications as you need to. But right now you don't need to. So just imagine that your mind is a smartphone and you're just closing application after application after application, just closing them all. And as you do so, notice that you start to feel relief. As you close all of these applications, you get a sense that that powerful mind of yours now doesn't have to think of a million different things at the same time. It just has to focus on whatever is the most important thing right now. And then I want you to recall a time in your life. Now that all those applications are closed, I want you to recall a time in your life when you felt resourceful. Perhaps it was a time when you had full of energy, motivation, a time when you can handle anything. Remember that time. And remember how you used to breathe back then. Remember how you used to move back then. And I want you to see that resourceful version of you inside a cylinder of beaming white light, almost like it's a version of you from the future. Only this is a time in your past when you had all the resources that would be useful right now. Imagine taking all of the energy from the stars, all the energy from the universe, and that beam of white light contains all of the infinite resources of the universe, and you're soaking up all of that energy and resourcefulness. And I want you to imagine stepping into that version of you. So you're no longer seeing yourself like you're someone else. You are that person, feeling that resourceful way, soaking up all of that power, that energy, that resourcefulness, every resource that you need. Focus, concentration, determination, the ability to prioritize, the ability to say no, and the ability to delegate. All of these resources are contained in that beam of light, and you are absorbing all of them. And as you do so, notice that you've never felt so resourceful. As you think about the next day and week, you can't help but think about that time frame with the belief that you can handle it. That whatever life throws your way, you're going to be okay. And as you start to entertain those ideas, it's almost like the tide is going out and taking away all that stress with it. I want you to get a sense that you have all the resources you need, and you can always say no to things. You can always communicate that you can't handle certain things, that you need help, or you need more time, or you need to think about things in a way that needs explaining to you. And as you go through that process, I want you to get a sense that all those demands on you seem like you now only have to focus on one thing at a time, and you feel more resourceful than you felt in a long while. And because of that, you are now more resourceful and optimistic for the future. And then I want you to find yourself no longer in that beam of light, but there. Just imagine there you are by the side of that waterfall, floating on an inflatable bed, feeling so relaxed. Feel the weightlessness, the lightness of everything around you. That's right. And then you realize that this waterfall, the lagoon, the smartphone within your mind with all those applications now closed down, the beam of light giving you all of that resourcefulness, these are just thoughts within your mind. Ideas within your imagination. Dreams within dreams. And I want you to get a sense that you are now back in your own physical body. But somehow something's different. You feel like there is less weight on your shoulders. There is less things occupying the power of your mind. And you feel more resourceful than you felt in a long time. You feel that you can handle more than you've ever been able to handle. And that combination of less demands and more resources makes you feel that you can sleep well. You can handle the next day. And you will find ways to be able to handle it even better day by day, because you will learn more on each day. In a few moments' time, I will count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. You will awaken feeling highly resourceful, optimistic about the future, and looking forward to getting the best sleep that you've had in a long time. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Get a sense that you're in your own physical body right now as I count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.